Business Connections Live, the UK's leading online business channel. This is Business Connections Live with Steve Hyland.
Hello there, welcome along to Business Connections Live, the program for entrepreneurs, SMEs and business owners. Great to have you with us today, and a very special program for you. A couple of weeks ago we were up at the NEC at the Festival of Enterprise, and we were interviewing a number of businesses up there. We were working very closely with a young lady called Rachel Taplin, who was on the last edition of Business Connections Live. We interviewed her about what she can do with her media matchmaker and how she can help businesses and organizations like you grow your business and at least get it known a little bit by the media by showing you the right way of doing it. In fact, I shared a platform with Rachel at the Festival of Enterprise where we had a panel. We were talking to different people who attended the shows over the 2 days about how they can grow their business by getting it in the press, getting it on the media. And we shared the platform with the likes of the BBC and people like that. But more importantly, on our stand, people were coming on and they were being interviewed during the course of the show. They were 5-minute interviews and they were really pitches about what their organisations did, how they can help other businesses, how they can help individuals. And it was a really interesting 2 days. We had a lot of fun. And for all the people that came onto the stand and came up and shook us warmly by the throat, thank you very much indeed. It was a very interesting couple of days. It was nice to see the quality of the show as well. Google Cloud were there, LinkedIn were there explaining how the LinkedIn platform can be utilised. There were a number of merchant services there as well, and it was a very diverse, very worthwhile show to attend at the NEC. So our thanks to the organisers as well at the Festival of Enterprise. All right, then let's get down to the interviews that we actually recorded on the stand at the show. The first interview we're going to show you today is with a guy called Jez Maguire. Now, he's a serial entrepreneur, an investor and owner of digital advertising agency MCG Digital Media. Now, Jez told me he's committed to growing his own business through acquisition, and he was on the stand that day to discuss how other small businesses can do exactly the same. It's a fascinating discussion, and I know we've talked about this kind of thing before, about how do you grow your business? Do you go in, do you increase your business with sales and marketing? Do you grow it that way? Or do you acquire other companies? And a very interesting statistic in this particular interview, you'll hear it in just a moment, in how he has transformed his company from one size to another. When you hear the figures, you'll be blown away. So without any further ado, here's Jez Maguire.
My name's Jez Maguire. I'm the owner of a company called MCG Digital Media. We're a digital marketing company. We've been operating for 15 years. I was actually one of the first qualified individuals in the country with Google back in 2003, 2004. What we're here today to talk about is how to grow a business through acquisition rather than sales and marketing. Okay, so where you start with how you buy a company through acquisition, as it were, to grow your company. Well, first of all, you've got to understand the mechanisms of how acquiring a company actually works. It's rather simple, but it's not very simple if you don't know how to do it. But once you understand the mechanisms of how to acquire a company through what's really called a leveraged buyout, because often you will be leveraging the financials within the company to buy it, but how you actually start going about finding companies to buy is a due diligence process where it depends whether you're sector agnostic and you don't care which sector you're buying it in. But what I tend to do is try to look for companies that are aligned with mine so I can grow my business through acquisition. It makes more sense to do it that way because when I'm talking to prospects that are thinking of selling their business to me, they feel comfortable, they can relate to me because I understand their sector, I understand who they are, and so the chance of an acquisition actually happening is far greater than if it were a company that's got nothing to do with my skill set. Most people will look to grow their business through sales and marketing. That's the norm. You hire salespeople, you spend lots on marketing to fulfill those salespeople, and you try to then get more clients on board. All of that comes with a huge risk, because first of all, you don't know if the marketing's going to work, and you don't know how good the salespeople are. So you've got to invest tens of thousands of pounds, no matter how big or small you are, just to even stand a chance of growing through sales and marketing. Now, I'm a marketer, and I'm saying that, but it's a fact. It does work, but it's much, much slower than through an acquisition. So, for instance, through one smart acquisition, you can treble or quadruple the size of your company for less than you'd be spending on sales and marketing, and it's guaranteed if the deal goes through. So that's why. What I'm talking about today is, first of all, putting it out there to business owners, small business owners like myself, to let them know that this is possible. Growth through acquisition is possible. Most people, I used to think, I can't do that. I'd need £1 million to buy a company that's valued at £1 million. No, you don't. Not at all. A competitor of mine that's 3 times the size of me, they're going to want to talk to me? Really? Yes, they will. If you approach them in the right way, you'll be very, very surprised. So the first thing today, what I want to talk about, is just to educate small business owners that acquisition is incredibly possible if you know how to do it. That's the first thing. And of course, also, if there are any marketing companies out there that are thinking of selling or thinking that they've had enough, talk to me, because I'm interested in growing my marketing agency through acquisition, so we may be able to have a decent chat. Once I've grown my business successfully through a number of acquisitions, then yes, I will be doing training. Once I've got the case studies in place and I can actually demonstrate, well, I used to turn over 200,000 and now my group is turning over 2 million, and that's what happened in the last 2 years, and it cost me a fraction of what it would have cost had I gone down a traditional route of sales and marketing. So I will be offering training in the near future, but right now it's just about education, just telling business owners of my size, this is very, very feasible. Check it out, have a look out there. There are various courses available. I will be offering some soon, but it's really just about the knowledge base of educating the mindset of small business owners that you don't need to gamble on sales and marketing all the time. Well, my website for this particular venture is jezmaguire.co.uk. That's GEZMCGUIRE.co.uk. On there it explains how I go about buying businesses, how I go about showing people how to buy businesses, and various different case studies that are on there, and various different topics around business. But that's where you can find me. I'm all about trying to be smart with anything that I do, and the smartest way to grow a business is through acquisition. Simple as that. So if you can hone the skills of acquisition, you can hone the skills of targeting companies to acquire, you can hone the skills of understanding the financials, you can get the network of the finances in place. There's a whole plethora of things there. If you can be smart about every single one of those, growth through acquisition is incredible, and that's what I'm about.
Very, very good interview there, and just talking to him was quite inspiring. There's no two ways about it. We're going to get Jez on the programme, so you'll have a whole hour of his knowledge shared with you. If you are thinking of growing your business, and perhaps the right way of doing it, and of course, so when we think about acquiring a business, what we do, we tend to step back and go, right, down the bank, how much can we borrow? We put our houses on the line, we put everything on the line, and it's a different way of acquiring businesses. You may have seen the programs that we've done as well with Jonathan J too. So check out those programs. We're going to have Jez, as I said, on the programme in the near future, but a phenomenal growth with his business from what was a £200,000 turnover to a £2 million turnover. Great programme. That's to come in the future. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Jez just then. Sunny Harara has joined us on LinkedIn, which is very nice. So Sunny, long time no talk. Please do get in touch, or I'll give you a tinkle as well. And don't forget, you can watch the programme right now on Facebook. You can watch it on LinkedIn. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Stitcher. You can watch it everywhere. It's all over the place. And very shortly, we are going to be expanding the network, and we're going to be taking it to the United States of America. So if you have business interests in the States, we're going to be part of an affiliate over there. and we're going to be beaming the program, making it available across the US. So if that is something that may interest you, is something that may be beneficial to your organisation, then get in touch with us here at Business Connections Live. After the next interview, we'll give you all the details that you need to get in touch with us here at the studio. You're watching Business Connections Live. We're looking back at the Festival of Enterprise, took place at the NEC just a couple of weeks ago. The next interview that we've got this time is from an organisation called Devo. Lionel Mazzella was the gentleman who joined me on the stand. He's the founder and director of the Digital Evolution Industrial Consulting Limited, Devo. From his unique background combining industry and digital, Lionel is an expert who provides local industrial SMEs with an innovative and disruptive offering for their digital transformation journey. Digital transformation, it is the buzzword. It was the buzzword at the show as well. I did ask Lionel to explain what digital transformation was all about. Once again, another great interview. Hope you enjoy it and just love the accent. This is Devo.
So I'm Lionel Mazzella. I'm based in Nottingham, but originally I'm coming from France. I used to work in big corporate businesses around digital transformation for the industry, especially for the power sector. And I realized, especially for the SMEs, there is quite no offering today. So I decided to set my business back in June this year and to provide digital transformation consulting for SMEs based in the Midlands. So if you look digital transformation as a definition is quite simple. So it's applying digital technology, digital drivers we have today, into your business, into your operational system, so you can improve, the performance of your business and potentially generate new value. So when you get to actually to implement that, that's where a lot of people are getting confused. For example, you're managing an SMEs and you say, I'm going digital. What does it mean actually? Do I need just to create a web page? Do I need to be on social media? That could be one option of digital transformation. But when you look at the overall, impact, that's going to change the way you work. So it could be connecting the machine, and that's what we talk about, especially about the industry. It's all about the industrial, aspect of digital transformation. You connect the machines you use to do your business, you take the data out, and you expose the data through the IoT to the artificial intelligence, which is dedicated to your business. That's more, where we go. So think about the way you can implement digital transformation to your people, your business model, your process, your product, and obviously to your customer as well. I would say I'm especially looking at the SMEs, but obviously, it's large corporate, they apply that today. The SMEs, they know they have to do it. Okay, and I think they're struggling now to understand who can help them, to go through digital transformation with a kind of, added value and really like a partnership. I'm thinking about a partnership when I'm thinking about digital transformation for the SMEs. So I'm definitively bringing back my expertise from large corporate down to the SMEs. That's where I am today. I think there is a consensus today where people, they understand, SMEs leaders or large corporate leaders, they understand they have to do it. It's not anymore a question about do I need or when. You remember Kodak? You remember the company Kodak? You remember Nokia? Blockbuster? So I think one day, one of the guys, in charge on the board manager and wake up and say, oops, I missed something. I don't think, for SMEs, they want to have this kind of Kodak moment in their life. So they really have to engage on the digital transformation today. Otherwise, someone else will do. And that will be the key differentiator, for the next 5 years. So they have to engage today. So the real value for a digital transformation, or the real, let's say, driver, it's the value. So when you do a digital transformation, if there is no obvious value, just don't do it. Simple as that. I will, when I was engaging with big corporate and CEO member of big, large company, always I was making that clear. If there is no value, just stop to do it. You're just burning cash for nothing. So the real, consulting part of the digital transformation, which is taking place before anything, it's identify the value. And after you can define, everything else. I think there is help out there. Don't feel isolated, please. Don't think I will have to manage that in-house, because it's a complex topic. And from my experience, nobody has a ready-to-go in-house, expertise on that. So look around, get in touch with me. I will be very happy, to engage, discuss with you. The way I approach the business is not, like immediately contract and everything. It's we grab a coffee, we talk. I like to bring you around the topic of digital transformation. So you start to brainstorm, you start to identify potential champions, your business, and we build your own roadmap with me like that as a partner. Digital transformation is not one-off, it's a journey. It will change the way you work. It will change the way the people you're actually employing are working in your premises. It will change services. It will add new services and new potential digital product to your customer. So you have to do that step by step, no rush. You have to start now, but no rush. So step by step and start to work by small increment. So if you have to fail, you fail quickly and you can start on something else. The old time we were running 2 hour, 2 years, 3 years, big project, and after the 2 years, is that really we pay for? Doesn't match actually the market, So there is a way, there is a methodology today, where you can do that by small increment. No rush, start today, get the right level of support, and start by small increment like that. You know exactly, and you control everything, resource, time, and cost. So I'm Lionel Metzela. I'm based in Nottingham. I'm originally coming from France. I'm the director and founder of Digital Evolution Industrial Consulting, and you can check the website at www.devo-ic.com.
Really interesting interview, and I think digital integration and digital transformation are the buzzwords at the moment. And the trouble is, a lot of people just think that's about putting your email up on the cloud and maybe putting your accounting package up in the cloud. Well, digital transformation can be more than that, and it's people like Lionel who will guide you through the maze that is digital transformation. And his reputation, his backstory, the fact that he's worked for multinationals and blue chip companies, all that expertise, all that experience being brought to your organization, to your business, regardless of the size of it, from a small SME all the way up to a multinational. Lionel is the guy. Don't forget, if you want to find out more, you can go to his website. It is devo-ic.com if you go along and have a gander there. Now, here's an interesting lady. Her name is Melissa Howard, and she asked a few questions before we start. She says, are you outwardly successful and yet find yourself thinking, isn't there more to life than this? Now, we've all been there, I'm sure. After a 12-year career in healthcare leadership, Melissa left her full-time career to reinvent life on her terms and create a bigger impact. Melissa uses her experience and expertise to ignite the lives of others to create lasting change through strategic interventions so that they can develop a peak performance mindset in a way that is fun, honest, and filter-free. I think sometimes the trouble is that when we're in business, one of the things that holds us all back is where we start from. It's ourselves. It's so that inward voice, the voice on your shoulder that's whispering in your ear, that isn't going to work. No, that's the wrong way to do that. And we all have that doubt perhaps at the back of our mind. Well, Melissa gives us some really good advice at the particular show that we were at there, the Festival of Enterprise. She gave some good advice, some clear advice. And once again, a great opportunity for you, if you're a small business owner, to get in touch with Melissa to find out a little bit more how she can help you. Just to give you some advice right now, here's Melissa.
So my name is Melissa Howard and I am the founder of Evolve Global, and I help men and women who are overachievers, who want more in life. They're a bit successful, but they're kind of thinking, is this it? To actually find purpose and a reason for why they're doing what they're doing. It's a huge problem, and I think the society norms that we have today is that we have to continue to be on this treadmill of success to be able to actually to be somebody nowadays. So if you wanted to actually take a step back or say I need help, it's kind of like you're weak. It's being vulnerable. And I found that from my past is that I just kind of went into myself, and that's when depression, anxiety and everything else kind of came into effect. And I just felt then that I was being really false. So I was happy outwardly, but then inside I was just a different person. I was so empty. So who's this going to be perfect for? I would say this is perfect for anybody who just has a little inkling that there's something more for them. They don't know what it is. They don't know why, because they feel like they have everything. Everybody wants their life, so why are they entitled to want more? I'm letting you know that whatever it is that you want in life, you can get it, and you can get it with my support. And for those people who are in business, this is perfect for them, because not only can they grow the bottom line, but they can become more creative. So this isn't just about doing what you do and it works, or it might not work. It's actually looking, that horrible term, outside of the box, and kind of seeing what is out there for us to be able to bring in. Some of my clients have been able to double their income, not only in their business but also their personal income, and been able to do what they want from a philanthropic point of view, which for me is just so amazing, because they come in wanting a little bit of change, but they leave with a huge transformation. So the essence of what I offer is change, and I allow you to come into my world and see what is possible. And we look at that together. So we build strategies around what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want. We focus so much on what we don't want in life that we don't actually think and have permission to think about what it is that we want. So we do that together, we build strategies and we execute it. How amazing would that be? So in summary, my name is Melissa Howard, and you can find me and connect with me by searching for Evolve with Melissa, and the business is Evolve Global.
Evolve Global there, and Melissa Howard, a really interesting chat. Now, if you're thinking this is a really interesting way of actually getting my message out there, if you're interested maybe perhaps coming on the program and doing an hour's interview perhaps, where we sit down, we work our way through what you offer your customers, what advice you give your customers, how your organization can help, how the field that you're in will help other organizations grow and develop and maybe make their businesses more successful, then why don't you get in touch with us here at Business Connections Live? It is a very, very clever way of doing it. It gives you a lot of very professional assets for your website very, very quickly, and in 1 hour you can cover a lot of distance. If you're interested in doing that, why don't you get in touch with us here at the studio? Let's see how we'll do it. Let's go from the email address, shall we? studio@businessconnectionslive.com is our email address. Drop us an email to there, but better still, pick the phone up and give us a call. 01784 256 777 is our telephone number. We always like having a chat. And do you know what? I'm beginning to wonder if a lot of the social media platforms actually are great to go on to and for us to muck around on and to share a bit of information. But does any real business come from it? That's a question I'm beginning to ask myself. So if you want to have a chat, if you want to get those assets, then give us a call. Don't forget, you can watch the program on the likes of Facebook. You can also follow our stream of consciousness. There's the Facebook address. Thank you. You can also follow our stream of consciousness as well on Twitter at BCL Business TV. But the best place to go, with over 277 business programs at the moment, all free. You never know when that might change, so get in there quickly while stocks last. Just go to the website at businessconnectionslive.com. You're watching Business Connections Live. Hope you're enjoying today's program. Slightly different. It's bits and pieces. It's all from the Festival of Enterprise that we were at the NEC a couple of weeks ago. We were up there with Rachel Taplin from Media Matchmaker. She was giving instructions on how people can go about raising the profile of their organisation by putting together stories that really resonate with the journalists. And it was really interesting because one of the things, I was on the panel, and one of the things we asked people to pitch ideas to us. And there was a lot of me, and a lot of I. And there were a few people out there that really got the hang of it. So what are the media looking for? What is your local BBC news programme looking for in the evening? If you can put together, the chances are, if you can put together a programme or an idea that is a segment in its own right, a story in its own right, that's got a bit of mileage, that people can get something out of, maybe shows a comparison between doing it right, doing it wrong, or something like that, something that the journalists can run with, then the chances are that they may well cover it. It's exactly what Rachel did, and she was able to raise the profile of her organisation, her business, and I think it resulted in nearly £100,000 worth of additional revenue for her business over the course of a year. Would you not like to be doing that? Of course you would. So if you want to find out more, do go to Rachel Taplin's website as well. Check out Media Matchmaker or Blue Boo Media. Media Matchmaker, or the other site, Blue Boo Media. and or just put in Rachel Taplin, and you'll find Rachel. She does a lot of online seminars. She does a lot of work online, and it just seems to be a fantastic resource, particularly if you don't have an external PR agency working for your organisation at the moment. All right, now we were just talking about Evolve just a moment or so ago. Sarah Ross joined us on the day on the stand. Her company's called Your Reason to Breathe. Now, I know it sounds a crazy name, but a really, really interesting concept. She is a burnout expert. She's also a speaker, a mentor, and an author as well. And she uses her experience with burnout and depression to help others avoid the dark place that she found herself in. So from personal experience here, she founded Your Reason to Breathe, mentoring executives and entrepreneurs on how to reset, recharge and thrive after burnout. So, here's Sarah Ross.
My name's Sarah Ross. I'm the founder of Your Reason to Breathe, based out of Oxford but working globally, and I'm a burnout recovery expert, speaker and coach. We are living in a time when people are burning out a lot, but people don't necessarily know what burnout is. And so it's my job to help people, when they have burnt out, get back to being functioning and really being able to thrive in their life. The kind of people that I'm working with are CEOs, the C-suite, senior management, but also entrepreneurs, because many of the problems that they face are exactly the same as the large companies are facing. Their top assets are leaving because they're burnt out, and in most cases that doesn't necessarily have to happen. There are things we can do much earlier in the process to actually stop them from burning out and actually deliver really, really well on their jobs, on their projects, but whilst also helping them to actually have a work-life balance. I think the biggest problem is we're not talking about it. So burnout, stress, anxiety, depression, these are all mental health issues, and corporations are not having those conversations early enough or are doing enough to tick a box. So they have all the policies in place. You can have flexi working, you can go on sabbatical, you can work from home, but in a lot of cases they are just policies, and if you ask to use them, which is what happened in my case, the answer is no. Individuals need to be able to speak up. They need somewhere safe to speak up and actually be able to come across and say, I am struggling. We need to be able to look at speaking up like that as not a weakness, but as somebody taking responsibility for their own job and how they deliver, but being supported by a boss or a manager who actually says, okay, how can we help? Not, well, you still have a deadline on Friday. So the symptoms that typically come up in burnout, people are feeling overwhelmed, people are feeling tired, and that to-do list just seems to go on and on and on. There are a lot of other hidden burnout risk factors. Are you going to the fridge? Are you drinking more coffee? Do you have a more intimate relationship with your phone than you do with your family and your children? All of these things are symptoms that you may be burning out. Now, on my website, I actually have a quiz. There are 15 factors that we ask people about. And if you answer a couple, you're not necessarily burning out, you just need a bit more balance in your life. If you're answering yes to all 15 of those questions, chances are you are burnt out and need to get help to actually recover from it. So the first thing that I tell all my clients is to breathe. Now, we actually have a breathe model, so it's not just about taking a deep breath, but it's breathing and smiling. Smiling or being happy actually resets the hormones in your brain. They produce all those happy hormones. Now, if you can do that for a couple of minutes a day, it starts to help your body heal from burnout. So for me, I have a story where a dying orphan actually saved my life. I was ready to end my life. And this story helps other people see that they may be struggling and it's time to ask for help. And so by using that story, I can help change lives of people in the audience. if you're interested in taking that quiz or to get in contact with me, then it's www.yourreasontobreathe.com, and if you want to go to that directly to that quiz, /quiz.
Sarah Ross there, Your Reason to Breathe, or, Your Reason to Breathe. Fantastic interview. A lovely lady as well, and quite inspiring as well. Hope you're enjoying today's program. You're watching Business Connections Live. Steve Hyland with you here. We are live on a Monday, as we try to be always. Won't be here next Monday due to the family commitments, but we will be back the following week after that with another live program with another expert guest on the show. Okay, let's move on to another one of our interviews, this time at the Festival of Enterprise. This is Andrea Reynolds. She's from an organisation called Swoop. Now, if you're wondering who Swoop are, well, they're the one-stop money shop for your business. Andrea started her career as an accountant with KPMG before joining their management consultancy division. She then left KPMG to start her own corporate finance consultancy, where for over 10 years she raised funding for businesses across loans, investments and grants. It is this experience that led to the launch of swoopfunding.com, and she's also non-executive director of the Berkshire Hathaway European Insurance Group as well. Just a really vibrant lady, this, who came on the stand. It's a fantastic product as well. Once again, you can go to their website to find out more at swoopfunding.com. But just to give you a bit of an insight, here's Andrea now.
Hi, so I'm Andrea Reynolds and I am CEO and founder of swoopfunding.com. Initially, I was a chartered accountant with KPMG, and I left over nearly 2 decades ago, where I set up my own corporate finance house, and I was helping businesses to raise finance, always SMEs, small and medium businesses. And during that time, I discovered how fragmented the entire funding landscape is in the United Kingdom. So everything from trying to locate grants to investors to lenders for all of the businesses I was helping, realized how time consuming it was, what a huge administrative burden it was for businesses, and the majority of small and medium businesses can't afford a corporate finance advisor. So I decided to turn me into a technology platform, which is what Swoop Funding is. So Swoop Funding launched in May 2018, so we're pretty young, but it's obviously 2 decades of experience wrapped into a platform, and it's free to use. So every single small business can register and actually see the results. What funding are they eligible for right now? We don't just show them what funding they're eligible for, we also identify savings for them, because the whole time I'm trying to improve the financial health of businesses, and small and medium businesses in this country are being overcharged massively. Everything from banking to foreign exchange payments to utilities, and so we are connected with all of the providers. So as well as finding you funding, we're also finding you savings. You improve your bottom line and your affordability for lending. So it just makes the whole cycle easier for businesses. So how complicated is the finance market for SMEs? I would say very, very complicated. You could spend a week trying to navigate what funding you may be eligible for. You will fill out thousands of application forms and you may still get a no at the end of that. That is why I set up Swoop. It was to remove all of that unnecessary burden and waste of time for what are time-poor business owners. We're all trying to get on and build our business, find customers, collect our cash. Why should it be so difficult for businesses to get the finance that they're actually eligible for and entitled to? And one of the examples is government grants. Completely siloed, fragmented, difficult to reach. In fact, 71% of UK businesses have never applied for a government grant. And the reason is it's way too difficult to find and to apply for. So we get rid of all of that burden and we find the funding for you and then pre-populate your application forms for you. So what kind of products, in terms of the finance products are on there, what's on our platform and what kind of savings? In terms of the finance products, we look at every lender in the market. So we are directly integrated to the major banks in the UK, where we get instant access decisions for you, for your loans. And on top of that, we are also connected into every, what are known as peer-to-peer finance providers and alternative finance providers. That ranges from unsecured loans, secured loans, asset finance, invoice finance, even a new product called IP finance. Whatever is in the market is on our platform. So don't bother trying to navigate it yourself. We've done that work and heavy lifting for you. In terms of the saving side of things, there are unknown costs. SMEs don't realize how much they're wasting. Everything from your bank account. Do you know how much your bank account is costing you and how you bank? So we compare that to every bank out there and we can help you to automatically switch. Everything from international payments. We're saving businesses thousands of pounds every year because UK SMEs pay over 4 billion more than you should for your international payments by using your bank accounts. These are the types of real bottom line improvements that we can make through Swoop Funding. So I'm Andrea Reynolds and you should be contacting swoopfunding.com. You should be contacting us if you're thinking about going for funding or don't even know what's out there for you. You should be contacting us to improve your bottom line, to get the savings that you deserve. So contact us, it's all free. We get paid when we manage to have success for you and we get paid by the providers. So come on board, see what is out there for you. It's at least a way that you can improve your business and understand your financial health better.
Andrea Reynolds from Swoop. And just to reiterate what she's talking about, just look at this here. Get matched to thousands of funding providers. Swoop combines its advanced matching algorithm with decades of funding experience to identify the best options for your business. And it was interesting, a comment that Andrea made during that particular segment as well, that many businesses don't know what's available and they don't go after the funding. This very laptop here, half of it was bought with funding from the government for, it was a sustainability grant that we approached them for. It was all about reducing mileages on the road, and the idea was a powerful PC that you could take somewhere and some of the work could be done on the client's site. And that's exactly what this was done. It cut down our mileage and therefore it made it right for the grant that we got. You could do exactly the same, but do you know those grants are available? Talk to Swoop, talk to Andrea to find out a little bit more, and perhaps that could be able to help you out. And there could well be grants that are going to be available for your company, for your business. And the other thing as well is, I remember when we started looking at this, I said to my co-director here, Linda Bazant, I said to her, look, we're going to go after this sustainability grant. And Linda said to me, it's going to be reams and reams and reams of paperwork. It's going to be difficult to get. You're going to have to jump through hoops. And when we actually got the form to do it, it was an A4 sheet, double-sided. And that was it. So is that something that appeals to your organisation, to your business? Check out these grants, go to Swoop, have a look at their website, and maybe they'll be able to help you out. Right, we're going back to well-being again. There's a lot about well-being. If you're in an HR department at the moment, I'm sure your CEOs, your board members are coming to you and they're saying, look, we've really got to sort out the well-being of our staff. Happy staff, happy business, happy businesses grow and make more money. Asha Berzon joined us. She's from Mindability Hypnotherapy, and she's a psychotherapist specialising in hypnotherapy, helping over 100 clients, including children. And owing to her management experience, Asha now works with HR to assist companies deliver staff well-being by offering workshops or one-to-one therapy within the organisations. We here at Business Connections Live, we've done a lot of work with another organisation doing exactly this. And this is so important within growing businesses, within growing companies. I bet you there are probably pockets within your organisation right now where the management really don't have a clue on how to manage, how to be leaders. Maybe something like this would actually help them. Asha specialises in working with anxiety, depression, and also couples as well on their fertility journey as well. So very, very diverse range of issues and problems. A really interesting interview with Asha Berzon.
My name is Asha Berzin and I am a clinical hypnotherapist and I am the founder of Mindability Hypnotherapy. I use hypnosis to help my clients to overcome lots of mental health conditions. So that might be anxiety, depression, PTSD, and I also specialise in helping my clients overcome and manage their fertility journey. So we're approached by a number of HR companies to help them proactively support their staff with their well-being. So I deliver workshops and I work with their staff on a one-to-one basis. And there's been lots of research recently around how people are experiencing mental health in the workplace. So there's been a recent stat which shows that about 50% of people experience mental health issues in that particular current role. We also know that 1 in 4 people experience anxiety. So there's probably about 10 of us here in this room, so that's potentially 2 to 3 people right now who have experienced anxiety in the last year. So I work with those clients and help them manage that anxiety in a proactive way. So there's a couple of techniques that I encourage my clients to use on a weekly basis because I'm very mindful that therapy only lasts for an hour. And they've got to go back and practice this in their world. So things that I encourage them to do is to be very aware of the positive things that are going on in their life, because actually we all experience negative things going on. Things aren't always great for all of us, but there's 24 hours in the day and not every moment of those 24 hours is hell. So getting people to recognise those positive little things, and it can be absolutely small things. So it can be just having a phone call with a good friend, watching TV for 20 minutes, having a cuddle with your child, whatever it might be, but actually just recognising those small things. Another top tip is sleep. Get your sleep in order. So sleep is absolutely critical to everyone's mental health, and so to have good mental health we need to make sure we have good quality sleep. So that would be making sure you have a good bedtime routine. So it's all out there anyway, but just generally to reiterate, make sure you don't use your phones too late, make sure that you have a nice warm bath, listen to an MP3. There's a free one on the website if you want to access that, and just allow yourself to really switch off. And I also say to my clients when they come through my door, you're actually already motivated to make the change and you already have all the answers. So actually look at experiences where you've been challenged before and look at the skills you've used, look at the techniques you've used, and look at how you manage those, because actually they're transferable. So it's about getting people to see they've already got that resilience and they can access that resilience again. So for most people, what tends to happen is they get unwell, they get referred to occupational health, and occupational health will then say you have to go down the route of potential therapy, which is all great, that's fantastic, but actually the standard therapy that's on offer tends to be cognitive behavioural therapy, and that's not suited to everyone. So it's just like you and I'm not a massive fan of coffee, but I'll drink it, but I know other clients who prefer tea. So, you either like one thing or you like another. So it's about building that therapeutic relationship with the person, but being absolutely clear about what you're going to get from it. So when I go into businesses and I work with them, it's about giving them an alternative to just cognitive behavioural therapy. Because actually solution-focused hypnotherapy, which is the type of hypnotherapy I do, doesn't expect the client to revisit traumatic experiences. And because you don't have to go back and revisit it, it's allowing the person to start where they are and to work where they want to be and look at that better version of themselves. And we start working towards making those small but important changes towards that better version of who they are. And that's actually much more gentle, much more effective way of doing it. My name is Asha Berzin. I'm from Mindability Hypnotherapy. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on LinkedIn. You can contact me on my number, which is 07902 580 703.
Mindability there, and of course that was Asha Berzon. And once again, do go to her website at mindabilityhypnotherapy.co.uk. You can find out more about the services that she offers. Very nice as well, if you're in the emergency services, she does offer a discount for people and organisations who are in emergency services. So you can go to Asha, find out a little bit more about the kind. Oh, there's a lot of writing on there, isn't there? She needs a video. You can find out more about what she offers and the services that are provided to her. You're watching Business Connections Live. By the way, if you didn't get or you didn't have a chance to go up to the Festival of Enterprise, the show up there in Birmingham, as I said, we were on the same stand as Rachel Taplin with Media Matchmaker. Got a couple of pictures just to show you what we were doing on the stand. This may work indeed for you if you want to increase footfall onto your stand. If you've got an exhibition coming up very shortly and you want to invite clients or potential customers to come on. Can we have a look at a picture just to show what we did? So here we are. This is us. It was not too fast now. So there's Rachel actually interviewing one of our guests, the cameraman there, Tony Lloyd. My thanks to him for being with me for the 2 days. So fairly simple set. Rachel then on the panel, we were talking what journalists actually need to maybe get interested in your story. And really, really good advice from Rachel. Rachel really does know her onions when it comes to actually this. And that lineup there, a couple of podcasters, someone from the BBC, local newspapers, and myself, we were all on the panel giving advice. You can find out more if you go to the website, to our website, businessconnectionslive.com. But more importantly, if you go to Rachel's website as well, you'll be able to find out more details about the services that she offers. She also runs online training courses and one-to-one training courses as well, which are very, very valuable. Find out about the Media Matchmaker service that she is providing as well. That is a bit of a no-brainer, quite frankly. If you don't have a PR team working with you at the moment, or if you are working with a PR company and you want to give them just a bit of an edge. I mean, so many people miss out on this. There are hours and hours and hours every week that local radio have to fill with content. Local newspapers have to fill with column inches, and they just can't do it. And you could help them. Your story, make it relevant to the audience so that it's not just a straight ad. Make it relevant to the audience. Get out there with your story and shout it from the rooftops. And who knows, it could, that one piece of exposure could change the dynamics of your particular business. So well worth going to. Do check out Rachel Taplin, Media Matchmaker. And if you want to find out more about the Festival of Enterprise, just go on the website. Okay, it's in the past now, but there'll be another one next year as well. And if you look at the exhibitor list of this year's, you'll see why it was well worth going along. All right, let's move on now. Let's talk a little bit more about money. This is Tech Bank. Shubush George Manuel, he's recognised as an expert and thought leader within the blockchain space, and more specifically within the legal regulations and ramifications that surround the industry. His group of companies launched the first ever ERC20 cryptocurrency in the UK, and he is one of the pioneer leaders in the blockchain revolution in Europe. By passion, he's a serial entrepreneur, and he has already created direct and indirect earning and unemployed opportunities for over 1,000 people around the globe. Just a nice bloke, but some interesting stuff. This is Tech Bank.
My name is Shubush George Manuel. By profession, I'm a lawyer, but by passion, I'm into business. And we are into cashback business since 2012. And recently, we have launched an associate company called Tech Bank. It's a regulated financial institution where you can actually trade fiat to crypto and crypto to fiat. We also provide regulated crypto wallet services. This is what we mainly do, and it's mainly an app-centric business. So it's a free app. And it's live in more than 140 countries. Anybody can download it, and when they do the normal day-to-day shopping, they get free crypto back in Bitcoin. So it's a risk-free method of building a crypto portfolio for yourself. Cryptocurrency is the future money. For example, like we all switched from our feature phone to smartphone. So in the same way, at some point we will all switch to the new money. and we don't want to come back from a smartphone to feature phone. In the same way, once we understand and use and become, it's a very user friendly. Once you're used to it, then it will keep growing. The industry will keep growing. So that's what cryptocurrency is, more or less. So yeah, so it's a future money for the businesses and the consumers, because obviously the businesses want the money to be coming from the consumers. So the consumers will be storing their value or money or in crypto in the future if everything goes in the same way it's going now. And if that happens, then obviously businesses will start accepting their payments, fees, or or cost. Everything will be in crypto in the future. Let's talk a little bit about the app. Our app is live both on iOS and the Play Store. So it's a free app for anybody to download, and it's live in more than 140 plus countries. And we have tied up with more than 90,000 retailers all around the world. So almost all the major brands are available. So when you just download it, and you can do online shopping or in-store shopping or pay with the app. So many different features are available in the app. So when you do your day-to-day shopping, instead of collecting cash back, you can start collecting crypto back now, and you get free Bitcoin when you do your day-to-day shopping with our app. Well, currently, when we launched the CryptoBack platform, we have more than 1 million plus users signed up on our platform, and it's mainly from UK, and we have from different parts of the world as well. So people are using it, people are earning cash back. So how can we provide it for free is a big question. It's very simple. We are tied up with these retailers, and when we refer the consumers to them, we get a cut of the sales, we get a commission. So what we do is we share this commission with our end users. So everybody is winning. The retailer is getting sales, the consumer is getting cash back in crypto, so they are building a free, risk-free crypto portfolio for themselves. The large retailers, they already have like a system where they can connect themselves into our platform and different loyalty platforms. But normally, the small and the local retailers are left out. They can't run their own loyalty program because its cost is highly costly, and sometimes it's not that effective even if they run it because it's not connected with other networks. That's where we come into play. So it's a free app for a local merchant to download, and he or she or whichever business, they can start running their own free loyalty programs. And this is already connected with the consumers and with the other retailers. So his customer base or their customer base get access to all the networks, and the points they collect from the local retailers can be spent at the other major retailers. So that way they get a free loyalty program from the app. From a consumer perspective, it is definitely giving them a savings, and on top they're getting free crypto portfolio for themselves. So it's a win-win for them. In the same way, the local retailers and the other retailers, they get connected with the large consumer base, and they also making income revenue from there. So it's a win-win for the retailers and for the consumers.
Isn't that an interesting concept? So you buy something and your rewards are in cryptocurrency. What a really clever idea that is. And could it well be the future? Well, Subhash thinks it is. So if you want to find out more, you can go to his website as well. Tech Bank is sitting there, and it says it all. Card processing payments as well. So card payments for your business. Open a beautiful, simple app-based global crypto account in minutes, not days. Gives you loads of information on here about the benefits and why you should be doing it. as well. Really, really, once again, an interesting guy to talk to. And even if you've just got a passing interest in cryptocurrency, I think it'd be well worth just going to the site and finding out a little bit more. The address is techbank.finance. Just go to the site and you'll be able to find out more about what TechBank can offer. Okay, final one on today's programme. We've got a few more that we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. This last one is from a gentleman called Edward Martin. He's from Quote Data. Ed is an ex-fund manager. That's what he was doing in 2013. And Quoted Data is an award-winning sponsored research house publishing free, reliable educational material and research on a range of industry sectors and listed company. Its a team of experts analyse, writes with a balanced view, aims specifically at self-directed retail investors, and takes pride in cutting through investment jargon and demystifying the markets. Ed Martin, he's the CEO and he's also the founder of Quoted Data. He's also the tallest guy that I met on the 2 days while we were there. I'm 6'2", he was 6'7", hence the reason you can see the roof in all the shots. Here is Quoted Data.
My name's Edward Martin. I'm from Quoted Data. We are an award-winning research firm that provides news, research obviously, to private investors that are keen to get that edge on investing. At the moment, a lot of the information is being consumed by newspapers and fact sheets, maybe from fund managers and company IR departments. We provide a more independent source and a bit more detail for those hobbyists that are keen to get that extra edge. The kind of customer we provide the service to is engaged investors and care about the companies that they invest in and want to learn more. We provide full information from the basics of the management team down through to what the company does, how it operates, and various thoughts on that. Well, we're just trying to raise our head above the parapet, really, to say hi. We've been in business for 7 years now, but we've primarily concentrated on the professional investor market, and now the service is available to private investors. And we're keen to increase our readership in that space. The service is free, is paid for by the industry, and we're here just to raise our profile. Quoted Data provides free research for private investors. We also provide free news, free investment guides that you can learn about industry sectors, and it's all paid for by the industry. We also provide a lovely quiz that you can take and you can get a certificate. Professional investors take it for their own CPD or professional training, but private investors now can take this quiz and you can get discount codes to private investor events such as this.
And there we go, that's Edward Martin, 6'7". That's why he's putting his head above the parapet. In fact, way, way, way above the parapet. A really good interview with him as well. Quoted Data, if you want to find out more about them, it's a fantastic service. Just go to quoteddata.com and as you can see, updated each and every day to give you the latest news and insight in what's happening in the financial market. It's a really good website. So that's Quoted Data. And that's the last of the inserts for today's particular program. We're going to be doing some more in just a couple of weeks' time. I hope you've enjoyed today's programme. Bit of an insight to what happened at the Festival of Enterprise, and thank you very much for all the lovely people that came over to us and all the people that actually linked in on LinkedIn. They connected with me saying, look, we're going to be there, we're going to see you there, and they came over and they said hello and told us how much they enjoy Business Connections Live. So for that, thank you very much indeed. Now don't forget, if you'd like to be a guest on the programme, why don't you get in touch with us here at the studio? It's dead easy to do. All you got to do is drop us an email to studio@businessconnectionslive.com, and better still, you can always pick the phone up and give us a ring on 01784 256 777. Give us a call on that, have a chat with either myself or Linda Bazant, account, and we'll talk you through the process of how you too can get an hour of great content for your website. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. Listen, we do it all again next week. Thank you very much for joining us here in the studio. But until next time, have a successful week and grow that business. From me, Steve Hyland. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Business Connections Live, the UK's leading online business channel.